So good morning. We've done it. I can't believe it, but we've done it. We're just mightily pleased. I can't believe that we've just done something like 140 miles on bikes for the Royal Marines charity. And I woke up this morning just so grateful that we all made it in one piece. But we wouldn't have made it without the brilliant contributions that folks have so generously given, and they're still giving, because we've still got to hit our 14 grand target, and we're a couple of grand short at this moment in time, so we'll keep going until we hit 14 grand. But I just wanted to show you a few images of what happened over the 3 days. We've had an absolute total blast. I think special mention needs to go out to the fantastic team that we put together. First and foremost, Ian Snakehips Markham, for his unstinting thought process. There's no wonder he was a good businessman, because he's forever planning and thinking and coming up with suggestions. And without Ian's help as we started to put all this together, I don't think we'd have got it off the ground. But he's just been awesome. He's also been awesome at raising funds too. So it's a big thank to Snakehips. Sadly, he did end up with our daily award of the dangling illuminated testicles. Yeah, he just went off form a little bit, and in a fair courtroom he was judged to be guilty, and so he had the infamous challenge of getting through the day with his illuminated testicles dangling from his bike. Who else did we have in our team? Mike Angel. What a beautiful name, Mike. And just like you, mate, you must have been thinking, oh hell, I don't really know many of these guys, but you slotted in brilliantly and rode like the wind on many of the days. Well done. Plus, your capacity for drinking beer has become legendary, so well done there, mate. Well, it's not well done, it's not big, it's not clever, but you were brilliant, mate. You were so funny. Some of your jokes are just hilarious. So moving on to another newcomer, Christian Nicholson, when we took him to one side and taught him how to behave within our group, he performed like a dream. It was absolutely magnificent, and he did the whole 140 miles or whatever it was on a mountain bike. So there was a fair amount of drag there, but Christian took everything that we doled out to him on the chin, and he was absolutely magnificent. Well done, Christian, and I'm really pleased about what you picked up. Christian actually has the skill of having a B in every postcode for 140 miles. How bizarre is that? However, it nearly got him into trouble on one occasion. He did actually try to pass the buck onto Paul Bunting to blame him. Anyway, I think that story has to remain in-house, because it could potentially lead to court proceedings. Okay, well, I've mentioned Paul Bunting there, so let's move on to Paul Bunting. Paul Bunting is not the lightest of our cyclists, but he was certainly light of heart as well. And he put a lot of training in before we did the ride, and I'm absolutely convinced that those training sessions enabled him to get round what was a bit of a challenge in the tour. So that's Paul Bunting. Pete Moody. Pete Moody was just a gorgeous senior figure. Steady away, absolutely brilliant with his little one-liners. And sadly, he didn't join in 100% of conversations. Why? Because he's stone deaf, and sadly went most of the 3 days with his hearing aid stuck somewhere. But anyway, there's a story about that which we'll lead on to. Pete's also a fantastic athlete for his age. He's 105, you know, and that enabled him to get round, I'm sure. Reconstructed knees, nothing for him. Off he went, absolutely stag-like. Oh, what about Keith Boxall? Keith Boxall, the White Rhino. Absolutely awesome. He joined us on the last day of our walk last year, and he was determined to join us for the whole 3 days this year. He was a magnificent contributor, along with his shadow, Keith Tyndall. Box got the nickname while he was playing for Hull FC. He was called Keith the White Rhino Boxall. Well, his white hair has gone. He's as bald as a coot now, but his rhino-esque calves certainly live on. And for many of us that trailed behind him, just watching those calves like steady pistons that are the size of a house, we were in awe at Keith's magnificent white rhino-esque calves. And that's obviously one of the reasons why he was unstoppable when he was playing rugby league. We could just imagine those powerful calves driving him through the rucks. Totally brilliant. So we move on to his oppo, Keith, the Silver Fox Tyndall, known in some quarters as Daisy Dukes. Well, what can I say about Keith? Keith was magnificent. He was an old head. He showed his abundance of stamina and power to lead the field. However, it brought him very close to getting the dangling testicles on the last day, because he upset everybody by going too fast. It wasn't a race, and even though he was told, even though he was warned, he had to go off. And for that, Mr. Tyndall, you can't be forgiven. You left your mates, you left your friends, repeatedly. But we know why. Because you wanted to get back to your beloved KC Stadium. And that's why you set such a frantic pace on the last day. And so that leads us on to our transportation specialists. Firstly, we had Jim boy, Jim lad. Jim can't have known what was going to hit him, but he settled in immediately within the first 10 minutes of meeting all our team. And we've got big thanks for Jim, who never moaned once. He was responsible for getting us a fantastic Ford Transit van, all badged up for our cycling superstars. And we couldn't have managed without that, so that was absolutely brilliant. But Jim, you're a top bloke as well. You're absolutely magnificent, mate. No, well done, well done. And hopefully we get to see you next year on whatever we choose to do. So last but not least, we have the magnificent Phil Caulfield, veteran of the transportation and guidance skills. With map in hand, Phil managed to ensure that we didn't go off-piste and get lost too many times. Sadly, when Phil was not around, our maps yet again fell into the hands of the utterly disastrous Keith Tyndall. We love Keith Tyndall to bits, but his map reading skills are obscene. They're just plain wrong. But yet we love Keith's approach to map reading because he is the only person on the planet that thinks we're moving in the right direction. We weren't. We were lost every time. So Keith, next year, mate, you are totally banned from anything to do with map reading. However, back to Phil. Phil's a rock. He has great ideas, he has great structure. He's a man of a calm nature and deserves to be a huge success in life. So we wish you well on your holidays, mate, because I know you're away on a break now. But you deserve a big break in life. You're capable of doing absolutely anything, mate, as you demonstrated over the 3 days and beyond. You're a legend, mate. Thank you so much. And so it is to the little montage of other photos and clips. So with that, I'm going to sign off, and I will see you along the way. A reminder that we've got a bash on at the Hainsworth Park, the Bransburton Golf Club, next Saturday night. So if you can make it along there, or you can bring some friends, or you can tell anybody, then do. Okay. So this is my private little message to our team. Love you all to bits. You are just absolutely awesome. Catch you later. Bye.